Hello again, my friends. We are here to do the Year in Review book tag. This comes to us from Andrew at Andrew's Wizardly Reads. He didn't tag me specifically, but I'm certain he wanted me to do this one. So here's to you, Andrew. We're going to go through it. At the end, I may tag some other people. We'll see how that goes. All right, let's get it going. Favorite book of the year. This one is incredibly easy. Not just my favorite book of 2021, my favorite book I've read in the last 20 years. This is going to be Assassin's Fate by the Queen of Fantasy herself, Robin Hobb, the capstone of her 16-book overarching series, Realm of the Elderlings, which I read all of in 2021. This book was absolutely everything I wanted, everything I never knew I needed. Made all of the 15 previous books better in retrospect. Cannot get a better book. If you haven't read any Hobb yet, please don't start with this. You need to do publication order always. You need to start with Assassin's Apprentice in Farseer, but amazing. So happy I took the journey. All right, question 2. Favorite series that I've started this year but haven't finished. So I'm going to cheat with this one. I've read up to what's current, but I'm considering it started and not finished, primarily because he's not done yet. So this is going to be the Sun Eater series by Christopher Rocchio. Started with Empire of Silence in January, which was amazing. Read Howling Dark then in February, 5 stars, easy. And then I read Demon in White in March, which was my favorite book of the year up until the point that I read Assassin's Fate. So just an incredible, incredible journey. Also read The Lesser Devil, one of the novellas in the universe. I read Queen Amid Ashes, which was a novella published last year, and all of the short stories in the Tales of the Sun Eater. If you haven't read Sun Eater yet, now is a good time to latch on because book 4, Kingdoms of Death, comes out in March this year. So we're a couple months away. And book 5 will also come out this year in December, so a lot to look forward to. It's a planned 6 or 7 book series, we don't know yet. Okay, favorite series finish this year, already talked about it, Realm of the Elderlings. This is a series made up of 5 underarching series. We've got Farseer, which is a trilogy. We then have the Live Ship Traders, which is a trilogy. Then Tawny Man is a trilogy. Then we've got the Rainwild Chronicles Quartet. And then the final trilogy, Fitz and the Fool, which I talked about the final book of earlier. Basically, Farseer, I read many, many years ago. I read Live Ship many, many years ago. Loved them both. Decided to do the entire journey this year. Farseer, easy 4 to 4.5 star series rating. Each of Live Ship, Tawny Man, and Fitz and the Fool are all 5-star trilogy ratings. And Rainwild Chronicles is a bit of a step down in quality and in enjoyment, but still many, many things that happen within that quartet are important to the overarching series. So strongly recommend you read all of it. Okay, favorite new author discovered this year, already talked about it. Christopher Rocchio, not just a wonderful writer, but a wonderful person. He's very, very active on Mike's Discord. He is there to answer questions. He runs his own YouTube channel. Highly, highly encourage you not only to subscribe to his channel, but also to buy his books, read his books, tell your friends about his books. Just a tremendous, tremendous achievement he's got so far, and the series is still a ways from being completed, which is really impressive. I like to tell people, if you like any of Star Wars, Red Rising, Dune, Gladiator, any of those things, I love all of those things, you're going to love this series. So do yourself a favor. Okay, favorite character of the new year. Again, very, very easy. This is going to be Hadrian Half-Mortal, Hadrian the Deathless. That's, of course, Hadrian Marlowe of the Sun Eater series. It's a first-person narrative. He destroys a planet, and we hear about the backstory that leads up to destroying that planet. It's not a big spoiler because we hear about this early on in the first book, Empire of Silence. Some of the most horrific sci-fi fantasy elements you'll ever read about in terms of the Cielson race, which is an alien race. Just an amazing series, and Hadrian right at the center of everything. Amazing character. Okay. Favorite new release of the year? Simple one. This is going to be The Wisdom of Crowds by Joe Abercrombie. This is book 3 of the Age of Madness trilogy. I have been a First Law fan a long time, about as long as First Law has been in publication. Of course, this is now the 10th book in the series, if you count Sharp Ends, the short stories, which I do. I love the OG trilogy, First Law, fantastic. From the Blade itself, from page 1 on, I love. I enjoy, for the most part, the standalones. I like Best Served Cold quite a little bit. The Heroes is one of my favorite books. Red Country's not my favorite, certainly my least favorite Abercrombie novel, but I still enjoy it. Sharp Ends is good, has a couple stories in there, and then Age of Madness is just an all-time banger. That entire trilogy is fantastic, so good stuff. Favorite reread of the year? So this had a couple of candidates that I'll go through, but still an obvious clear choice. I re-listened to the entirety of the First Law in preparation for Wisdom of Crowds this year. Stephen Pacey's my favorite narrator on the planet. I think he's amazing. So I enjoyed all of those rereads, obviously done through audio. But even more than that, for the first time in many, many years, I revisited The Hobbit and the entirety of Lord of the Rings. New editions have come out with Andy Serkis doing the narration. Absolutely phenomenal. Highly encouraged. Whether you have only seen the movies, whether you've read the books and seen the movies, or whether you're going in completely blind, highly encourage those narrations. They're fantastic. Biggest surprise of the year. So for me, this is going to be Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. Many of the people with similar tastes as mine were saying how great it was. I was going in somewhat reserved. I wasn't sure if I was going to like it or not, but it ended up being a top 10 book for me of the year. If you enjoy The Martian, which he also obviously writes, I think you'll like this. It has one of the favorite character relationships I've come across, which I can't even talk about because it spoils the book. Amazing book. It reads and or listens quickly. I did the audiobook, the narrations by Ray Porter, one of my favorite narrators, which also added to the experience. Highly encouraged. All right, biggest disappointment of the year for me, this was book 1 novella of Murderbot. This was All Systems Red. I think for the right type of reader, this is a series and a book that they'll really love. It just wasn't for me. I didn't get the humor. I didn't chuckle or laugh at all. But you know, obviously, it is beloved throughout the BookTube community in particular. You know, no harm done. It's for other people and not me, so that's okay. The one book that I would universally recommend to everyone, again, I'm going to go back to Empire of Silence, Christopher Rocchio. More people need eyes on this series. It's just a fantastic book. It's a fantastic series. I think you'll be hooked from the start. I love the way he does the frame narrative. I love the callbacks to Dune and Hyperion and other sci-fi classics that he grew up reading. I don't get all of the references, and that's okay. Other people have picked up on things that I haven't, which is perfectly fine, and I'm sure vice versa. But just in terms of if you want to get into science fiction, particularly if you love fantasy like I do, this is a sci-fantasy that you will really enjoy. So get on it. Tag some friends, yeah. So I think Turnabout is fair play, so I would like to see Madison do this one, if she hasn't already. I don't think she has, so that would be good. And beyond that, I think iWizard, let's get you doing this one. That would be good. Love your channel. You're doing great things. And he has actually just completed his review of Howling Dark, which is book 2 of Sun Eater. So check that out. But beyond that, I hope everybody enjoyed my year in review. Hopefully you had a wonderful reading year as well, and I hope you have a great reading year in 2022. So long for now.